Summer was approaching quickly, and for the girls at Our Lady Queen of Peace Academy, it couldn't come soon enough. Although there was still plenty of chores to be done on the 40-acre farm, there was also lots of summer fun, and no school. The thing they looked forward to the most when school ended was the pond. Every summer, the girls would walk down to the old fishing pond with Mother Cabrini. It was a quiet, peaceful pond where they could swim or fish to their heart's content, and no one enjoyed fishing more than Anastasia. After she had caught her first fish the summer before, she was hooked. She spent every spare minute she could down at the pond fishing. One morning in May, as the sun danced softly in the sky and fresh, sweet smell of lilacs wafted in the breeze, the thought of going to school became too much for Anastasia to bear.
If only I could skip school,
Anastasia thought. After all, there may not be a day as nice as this for the rest of the year. It was an hour before school would begin, and the other girls were all putting on their uniforms, when Anastasia nudged Philomena and began to whisper.
Hey, let's skip school today. What? Why?
Philomena replied.
It's so nice out and I have to go fishing. Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know. What would?
As Philomena was still talking, Cece overheard part of the conversation and butted in.
Hey, you skipping school?
Shh, they both said at the same time.
I'm sick. Let's pretend to be sick. I've done it before. Alright, you can come too, but you can't tell anyone.
The three girls climbed back into bed and started tossing and turning, pretending to be sick. When Mother Cabrini walked in, she put her hands on her hips and gave them a long, critical look. "What's wrong, girls?" she asked.
My head hurts so bad in my tummy.
Cece wailed.
Mine too.
Anastasia and Philomena complained. Well, it appears you'll have to stay in your rooms and miss out on school today," said Mother Cabrini with a little twinkle in her eye. "I just hope you're better by tomorrow when we make ice cream."
We will be,
they all replied. "All right, my dears, get some rest." With that, Mother Cabrini left the room, leaving the girls to finish their plan. By 9 o'clock, all the fishing rods were ready to go, and they started down toward the fishing pond. Anastasia was usually not the one to take charge, but she knew since Cece and Philly were coming fishing, she'd have to take the lead on this one.
Cece, you go over there and dig for worms. Those yucky things. Gross. I don't want to,
replied Cece.
Fine, Philly, you go dig for worms. What?
Philly was daydreaming and didn't hear the question. They had recently learned about King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, and she was imagining herself as the Queen of Spain.
Can you find some worms?
She asked again.
Oh, okay,
replied Philly as she started digging, but then got distracted by some roly-polies.
Oh, fine. I'll find some worms,
Cece said. After several long minutes of digging, they found a few worms to use as bait.
Okay, Cece, stick one on the line while I hold it,
commanded Anastasia.
I can't. It's wiggling too much,
yelled Cece as she threw it into the pond.
Billy, can you do it? Okay, just keep still.
By the time the worm was on their line, their stomachs started to growl, and the heat of the sun was beginning to burn their arms and faces.
It's so hot,
complained Philly.
I'm starving. Did you bring any snacks? We can eat the fish we catch later, said
Anastasia.
Ew, I don't want to eat a fish you catch,
replied Cece.
What? We can't give up now,
replied Anastasia.
Let's go back. We're gonna be from school soon. Oh, fine,
said Anastasia dejectedly. They walked back to the boarding house, and when they got inside, they noticed how red and sunburned they were. Everything hurt, and they knew that on top of the pain, everyone would know they had been playing outside when they should have been in bed. The school kids got back to the boarding house, along with Mother Cabrini, who once again put her hands on her hips and looked at them critically. I suppose you three actually went to the pond today, didn't you?
Yes, Mother.
So you weren't really sick then, were you?
No, Mother.
Well, since you have these awful sunburns now, you'll have to miss school again tomorrow. And that's when we'll be making ice cream.
Yes, Mother.
They said disappointedly. Cece started to cry and said,
I am so sorry.
Again.
I won't pretend to be sick, especially it's not to go fishing. I'm sorry, Mother. It was my idea.
Confessed Anastasia.
I'm sorry too, Mother. I should have known better and tried to stop them.
I know you girls are sorry, and I forgive you. Just remember that the devil is the king of lies, and you never want to be associated with that loser. And you'll have to miss out on ice cream tomorrow.
Yes, Mother.
The girls stayed in bed the next day, putting oil on their sunburns and daydreaming about the ice cream they were missing out on. They learned that lies will always get you into trouble, if not here on earth, then in eternity.